All right, we are live. We're going to try this again. I got another one. I called them and they said, "Oh, we must have had a missing part." So we're gonna take another stab at it and see if we can get it to work this time. So you'll recall that the last time we did this, it was missing the tray that you needed for getting the paper connected. So now I've got one that has the tray. So hopefully that will work. So we're going to get going here in a second. Somebody's FaceTiming me, I think, which I will get to in a minute here. All right, let's hit OK to get this going. And I turn this on. There we go. OK, so now I think I got everything set up and ready to go here. And we'll be going in a minute here. Robert Branch is here. Your lovely, infamous boy is here. Thanks for joining us today. Yeah, we're going to have some fun with the die sub printer here. And just give me a second because I think somebody's trying to call me. It's always right when I start streaming, I get these calls. Who's calling me? Oh, I'll call her back. That's my daughter. I don't know why it was ringing on my computer and not my phone, but my daughter was looking for me, but I will buzz her back in a little bit. It's fun. My kids are old enough now. They can send me text messages. They can call me. You know, it's kind of fun. Well, they're at the beach right now. They usually live here with me. All right. Let's get this taken care of real quick. Okay. So we're going to look at the Sprocket printer again. We're back. We're going to try it again. So they sent me another one. That's right. Travel Diva's here. Thank you for joining us. I think you usually find me on Amazon, so good to see you on the YouTube side. And yes, take two. And Mario is here. Good to see you. All right. So this is what we got. This is the Sprocket Studio Plus. And this is a dye sublimation photo printer that you connect to your phone. It prints 4x6 prints instantly, it says, from your smartphone. And they also sent a paper pack here with 4 packs of paper and 2 of the cartridges. So what we're going to do today, over the next hour or so, is we're going to set up the printer from scratch and see how it works. And that is what we do on our live streams here. So let's open it up. Now, the last time we opened up the printer, it was missing a part, a critical one, which is actually needed to make everything work. So they sent me a whole new one. So these are all the components you get when you open it up. So you've got your cartridge here. And this is a dye sublimation process, so there's an actual consumable. This is not it's not like just a thermal printer. So a lot of the thermal printers rely on just the paper. This has a ribbon that it uses for the dye sublimation. Bill Eastman is here. Thanks for joining us. Yes, I found that to be the case. I will say Apple does it a little bit better, for sure. Amanda Brown says, is this a repeat? No, I got a replacement. This is the replacement unit. So they got one over to me. They actually sent me one out of Amazon's inventory because initially it came from their PR agency. I think what happened is that somebody like must have checked it before they sent it because this one's packaged differently. So we'll see what happens here. No, the 55-minute thing has not yet been fixed. So we're still dealing with that. And yeah, this is actually, so it's funny, whenever I review these Sprocket printers, when I check the analytics afterward, this is what's great about these. I get like practically, it'll be one of my lowest performing videos of the year when I upload the review of this. But then you wait till about Christmas season and it goes through the roof. And it's about 70% women who watch because these products are very popular with women, more so than men. We don't like to print pictures. I guess we just keep them all on our phones, right? But I like to print them occasionally. My wife loves printing pictures. In fact, I'm going to probably turn this over to her because we've got like a spot in the upstairs where she swaps like a little clothesline thing, and she's got photos hanging from little clothesline clips. So she loves like 4x6 prints, so she's going to love this. All right, Kevin Hawthorne is joining us. Good to see you. And just ignore the ringing phone in the background. My daughter doesn't take no for an answer sometimes. This is my 7-year-old. She's very persistent. And generally it involves her wanting to get some app on her iPad. So this is the power supply. It's actually a pretty beefy power supply because this printer does consume a little more power than your average printer. The 60-watt power supply here. Now, what was missing the last time, when we took the printer out of the box the last time, we didn't have the top tray on it, and this was also not wrapped in plastic. So again, I think they took the printer apart to make sure it worked before they sent it, and they forgot to put the tray back on. So you'll recall last time, this gray part on the top was missing. And the way this works is as follows, and I'll put it on the desk here, and we'll do another. It's actually, I really like the way it looks. It's really cute. It's like a little mini HP printer. Adin Ishmael says, thank you for the guide. Anytime. I enjoy doing this stuff. So you'll recall last time we spent about an hour trying to figure out, like, where's the tray that they keep telling me to take out? Well, here's where it's supposed to go. This is what it's supposed to look like. And you saw me trying to take this off. So this is the underneath, and then here's the tray. And then what they've got is a handy little tab here. You pull it out. And so we're going to follow the instructions on the app so that we do it properly. That is what we're going to do. So I got a link in the video description. This is 149, and it will print borderless, and we'll demo all of it as we go here. And I got plenty of ribbons and paper here, so we can print out a bunch of stuff. Travel Diva thought it was funny. I must have been talking about us men, right? How we approach pictures. I like taking pictures. I just like to have them on my screen. I don't print them out. But my wife loves printing pictures out. So, and this came in free of charge from HP for review, in disclosure. So this was something they sent to us. I'm one of the few printer reviewers on YouTube, if you can believe that. So I get a lot of printers in for review. All right, so I'm gonna get it plugged in, and then I'm gonna follow the directions on the phone. And Felicia Holmes just followed us on Amazon. Thank you for the follow. And Aiden on Amazon says that he can believe it that I'm one of the few. Yeah, they don't get as many views, but I'll tell you what, over time, my printer reviews get a lot of traffic. So the app for this is just the HP Sprocket app, which I have installed already. So we're just going to pop that on in a second here. All right, so let's plug in the printer. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to get my phone here, and I'm going to put it in Do Not Disturb mode. I think my daughter can override the phone privacy, so you might see Ellie calling me. I have it set in like my Do Not Disturb mode has my family, just in case I'm in a meeting and somebody needs to reach me. But otherwise, it will be there. Okay, so I got the Amazon app up here. So what I'm going to do is get to the Sprocket app. Do you all remember that? I was using this joke before, but do you remember that Saturday Night Live skit called Sprockets? I always think of that when, if you haven't heard of it, go on YouTube and watch it. It's funny. This is dye sublimation on this. Their smaller one is zinc. So I think the way this works, and I have in the Amazon carousel below, I have the paper and the cartridge pack. So it looks like in the pack here, there's 4 things of paper. And I'm not sure how many, so it's 108 sheets. So what is that divided by 4? So 108 sheets, and it's kind of like a fixed amount here because this is not ink, it's dye sub, it's like a ribbon. So you get it's kind of odd. You get 27, is that right? No, there's 5. Let's see, 1, 2, hang on, let's see how many are in here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there's 6 in there. So 108 divided by 6. So 18 sheets per pack of paper. And there's 2 cartridges, so you probably get 36 prints per cartridge. Now this box is $47, and I don't think you're going to find any kind of like aftermarket things for this. So that's that. And Aiden wants to know, how long have I been doing these live streams for? I've been doing these for 3 or 4 years now, actually. But yeah, I think it's cute. I like the way it looks. Oh, that's kind of interesting. So in Australia, you get, or in the UK, you get free prints. Yeah, so they, on their inkjet printers, they have, and some of the printers come with this. If you get the HP, that HP mail-in service, one of the printers, I think it was the HP, I reviewed it a while ago. One of the HP printers would let you print photos for free. 4x6 photos, you could print as many as you wanted for free, and then the other things you printed would count towards your consumption. David Bound is here. I'm having a great afternoon so far. This does not work with the subscription program as far as I can see, which is a good deal, actually. So, yes, Dieter, that's right. It's Dieter. I'm filled with anticipation remorse. This is the part of Sprockets when we dance, right? That was the thing. Good. So, yeah, so at least like some of you remember that. So some of my fellow Gen Xers will remember staying up late and watching Saturday Night Live and Sprockets. Okay, why don't we set up my printer here and let's go through the process. So we have the Sprocket Studio Plus. That's what this one is. We previously looked at the Sprocket Studio. I don't know if I still have it. I think I might have sent it back to them. I'll check and see if I have it in the back. I'm pretty sure I got rid of it. Okay, power on. Attach the included, okay, I did that. We are plugged in and powered on, as far as I can tell. Load the paper. This is where we got tripped up last time. So we're going to take the paper tray off the thing here, and we're going to load the paper in. Let me keep an eye on chats here so I can figure it out. Hey, Jeffrey's here. Jeffrey still has his Sprocket. Yeah, so Jeffrey and I went on a trip to HP headquarters when they rolled out one of the Sprockets in the past. That was a fun trip. Okay, so now we're going to put this. Yes, they sent me a whole new printer. So we're good to go. All right, so now remove the paper tray from the top of the printer. I'm going to show you the instructions here. Pull out the side cover of the tray, which I guess is this thing. Place the stack of paper in the compartment glossy side up. So we're going to put that in the compartment here. Now you'll note that there's some perforation, it may be hard to see, there's some perforation on the edges which will become more evident when we print something. All right, so I guess I stick that in here. And by the way, part of the fun of these live streams is that I am completely inept at doing this kind of stuff. That's right, we got to sit at so at the HP headquarters, they've preserved Bill Packard and the other guy's office to exactly where it was like in the late 70s. It's awesome. The wood paneling, the phone, everything is exactly as they left it. And one day they're going to do that with my basement. At least I hope my kids do. Danny is here. Good to see you. Yeah, there was some issues with the HP firmwares like bricking printers. Did they fix that for you, or did you have to get another one? Yeah, ink is expensive on printers, although I have reviewed a bunch of tank printers of late, which are much less expensive from a consumable perspective. Yep, Carol is here. We're much further along than we were before. And I'm the Brown remembers, right, was it Spacely Sprockets was the name of the place where George Jepson used to work. But Danny thinks of it as Spartacus. See, everybody's got a different trigger for that word. Okay, so we loaded the paper. Now we're going to install the ink cartridge. And this goes on the side door here. So let's open up the side door. And I'm assuming we need to take the cartridge out of the packaging here, which we'll do. By the way, I have so much plastic here from all this stuff. HP's been getting better about their packaging, but there's still some things that come in plastic. All right, insert the cartridge into the slot until it clicks. Now, the good news for me, who's inept at spatial stuff, is that there's only one way the cartridge can go in, so you can't screw it up. So we're going to stick it in until it clicks. Okay, it doesn't really click. There it goes. Okay, so give it a good push in there. All right, so now that's done. So we got that part done. I'm getting there. We are getting there. And Jonathan Roca says, is that a printer? It is a printer. It is a photo printer, a dye sublimation photo printer. All right, the next thing we need to do is check behind the printer. Make sure the power cord or other items don't block the back of the printer. Okay, that's an important point. And I'm glad it asked me about that because I had it plugged in the back here. So you want to keep that plug kind of angled in that direction because there's a slot here where apparently the paper is going to come out and go back in. Don't shoot the messenger. That's how they designed it. Oh. And the plug falls out very easily, as I just discovered. Let's try this again. We're going to be battling this throughout the stream, I think. Okay, so now we've got that done. Okay, so I checked behind the printer. Is Bluetooth turned on? Yes. Ready for Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connection. So I guess it does Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. All right, so let's hit next. And let's see what the next step is here. Oh, yes, right. So it comes in and out 4 times, so that's to go CMYK, right? So that's how it works. All right, I've plugged it in. I don't know if there's a power switch on this thing or not. Oh, there is a power switch on it. Got to turn it on. And I got to load the paper cartridge in here too. I don't know which way it goes in. I'm assuming it's going to tell me that. Oh, don't tell me it's not going to. There it goes. Okay. Like, don't tell me it doesn't turn on. And where does this thing go? How do you interface this with the printer? I'm guessing it must go this way. Did they tell me to put this back in yet? I can't remember. Oh, I see. This folds down like that, and you stick. Oh, okay. There, it makes sense. All right. Yep. There it goes. That's how we do it. Okay, so it found the Sprocket. Jeffrey, did you get one of these too, or are you remembering the old one? I can't even remember what I did yesterday. All right, so now it's going to want to know my location, which I'm never comfortable with this, but I'm going to do that for now. Okay, so now the printer uses Wi-Fi, so I got to connect to my Wi-Fi network. So let me do that real quick. Bear with me. It seems like this one feels like the other one didn't feel like it had to do as much stuff. If I recall, the old one was like a all-in-one unit. So maybe the feedback they got was that it was too bulky when it was not in use. This one has to kind of be assembled and then disassembled, and you've got to have the paper stick out the back. Travis was hoping I would rip the top off of it. Yeah. All right. I'm just waiting for the Wi-Fi to connect here. Now, the complexity that I have here, yeah, see, I have a, oh, I didn't type my password in, that's why. I have 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi here on its own network, so I don't know if it's going to connect to 5 gigahertz, and I would assume it does at this point, but. And Jolt Dude has a dye sub Canon. And for every page, there's 4. Oh, interesting. So the ribbon goes cyan, magenta, yellow. So, oh, that makes sense. Got to have some good calibration there. All right, I'm having trouble connecting to the Wi-Fi network, and I suspect it's because it doesn't like 2.4 gigahertz networks, or 5 gigahertz networks. I'm going to connect it to my other network here. Let's see if it does better with that. This won't impact most people because most of you have like an automatic thing. I just separate my networks on purpose because I like to control who connects to what. All right, let's try this now. I think this will probably work. I'm surprised though that like a newer product wouldn't work with a 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi connection. All right, we're good. So it looks like 5 gigahertz is not in the cards. Here's a firmware update. This is like any typical stream here. We have to sit through a firmware update, so we're going to do that real quick. So we will download firmware, and we'll let it do its firmware update, and then we'll print a picture out. And we'll let that do its thing. All right, we're almost there. Yonder Brown says that the 5G, 5 gigahertz chips are more expensive. That's true. So Caradween Brasket has both. So which one do you like better? Is the new one better than the old one? Because I thought the old one was decent. So I'm just curious what's new on this one. I don't know if the print quality is any better or not. We'll find out. So it is CMY, but no K. So I'm guessing the black levels then won't be great on this, right? And it's been a while since I have experimented with a die sub printer. And what we're doing now is we're just doing the firmware update. And as soon as that is done, we will print out a picture. And it's funny, it looks huge in this picture. When you put your hand up next to it, you see how tiny it is. It's a really small printer. Ooh, you got a LG C2. Very nice. That should not be there. I wonder if you got a dead pixel on that TV. If it doesn't go away, you may have a dead pixel. That's all right. It's autocorrect. It does it all the time. It calls me all sorts of names. They never get my real name done, right? And Joltude says the black is pretty good due to the sublimation registration. So we've got some experts in the channel here on die sub. I remember die subs. I think one of my graphic designers back in the day that I used to use at work had a die sub printer. This is way back when. All right, to complete installation, we need to restart your printer. Okay, so the printer's going to reboot. And then when it comes back, we will be ready to go. And I would imagine it would be. I hope it would be, for sure. And Thomas says the pictures come out like they're professionally printed. I'm looking forward to seeing what the output quality is here. I've got some nice pictures to send over to it. So as soon as it reboots, it looks like it turned itself off and it's not rebooting. I don't know if it's like doing something else here. Well, maybe I'll turn it back on in a second. Now also here, while we're waiting, on the app, it can pull your pictures out of your gallery, but also it appears Instagram, Facebook, and Google Photos. So that's cool. I got to turn it back on again. Let's see. Yeah, it turned itself off. And it does not look like it's rebooting. Let's hit the button. There it goes. So it turned off the printer, but didn't turn it back on again. All right, so now we're going to wait for it to reboot. Yes, you know what I did down here, Jeffrey? So Jeffrey's commenting on the Amazon chat here. So I have Wi-Fi 6 here too, but I put all my kids on the 2.4 gigahertz network so they didn't mess up my I want all the bandwidth to myself. So everybody else in the house gets the 2.4. My wife, I think, is on the other one. All right, why don't we print out a picture here? This is my friend's dog that I met the other day. So we're going to select this picture. I'm just going to take it from the top here. I'm not going to do anything to it. I just want to print it out. And I want to go edge to edge. Isn't that a cute dog? I forgot the dog's name. But it's a very cute dog. And I'm going to hit print. And let's see what happens. This is exciting. And I have so many I have like a lot of cartridges and paper here. I could print out a lot of stuff. So I could probably run my own photo lab right now. All right, so now it's taking the paper. I can see why it needs a 60-watt power supply. It sounds like there's a lot going on in there right now. All right, so the paper came out the back. I'll have to do some B-roll of this for later. So, and this is what it's supposed to do. So you got, this is the yellow, right? Now it's going to suck it back in. I wonder if I can get you a picture of, like, I'll zoom out a little bit here. Yeah, here we go. I just can't move it because the cord will pop out again. Ooh, it's coming out like at an angle. I'm not sure it's supposed to do that. Maybe it is. So Jeffrey, let me know if yours comes out at an angle like that. See what it's doing? It's like coming out like that. Well, that's cool. Looks like a photo. And I guess this is going to be the that gloss layer, right? So that's the clear coat now is going on. So it's like, see how it's like, that's what it came out like, but the photo looks fine. So here, I'll zoom back in. That looks great. Wow. I'm pretty impressed with that. Look at that. This is actually a good photo because it's got a lot of black in it. And I was curious what the black level would look like. This is spectacular. Now you'll notice there's edges here. So you'd have like a little perforation on the edge that you can pop off. So the only issue versus like your photo lab is that these are not, it's not clean on the bottom. It's got a little bit of perforation residue there. But if you put it in a frame or something, you wouldn't notice it. But look how close that is to the original. That's really good. Yeah, you know, maybe the paper tray wasn't in all the way. Let's see. I got it in there good now. But it didn't impact it from a registration perspective. But look how close that is to the phone. I mean, I can't tell. Like, you know, I've reviewed a lot of printers over the years, and rarely do you get like the photo to actually come close to looking like what it's supposed to look like. That's really good. I'm really impressed with that. That is excellent. So that's better than expected. So let's print out another one. Let me get another thing here. I guess this thing can do other stuff too. I don't know. We'll have to play around with it a little bit. All right. Now I want to see too if this shows up as a printer on my network. I don't think I can just print to it. Let's see. Yeah, so it's not showing up as like a printer that you can just print to without the app. So the paper, so what they do is they sell you this pack of paper here. And this is in the, well, that's a good idea, Jeffrey, is put it out in the sun and see if you get a fade, if it fades out. So it is $47 for essentially 108 sheets. So what is that? That's 108. So is that right? $2.29 a piece. Am I doing my math correctly here? No. What am I doing? 47 divided by 108. Yeah, so it's about 44 cents a print. So it's probably cheaper maybe than going to like the local photo place. And you only get 4x6. So the only size it can do is this size. So 44 cents a print, at least at the moment. HP, this is the HP. I'm really impressed with the output quality on this. This looks really good. And this is dye sublimation. So give me a second here. I'm just going to put some notes into the This is the Sprocket Studio Plus. So Caradwin wants me to do a collage. I think it can do collages. Let's take a look. But you got to cut them with scissors. That's where my my skill set. All right, so let's jump out of here. Let's go back. So I'll pick out some other photos here. So there's a collage and pre-cut stickers. So what are the pre-cut stickers? I don't think I have. Oh, I got to order the stickers. They didn't give me the stickers. Pre-cut stickers, so you could actually print 2 stickers per sheet. I should get some of those. I'll get some of that for the review. All right, so let's go back and do a collage. So I'm going to do a collage. Okay, so tap select at the top and choose 2 to 4 photos. Okay, so we can do up to 4 photos. So I'm going to type select, and I'm going to pick some photos. So why don't we pick this? I'll pick that. I don't know if Trent Curtis is watching, but I have his QSO card here. I could do that one. Let's see what else we got here. Here, we'll do the one with my wife and I. So what's that? That's 3. It gives you a number here so you know how many you're up to. And we'll do, let's see. Now I've got videos on here. It looks like it can do a still of a video. Here, we'll do this one from the Memorial Day Parade. Okay, so now I'm going to hit collage. And then it will arrange them in different configurations here. That's pretty cool. You don't have a lot of flexibility. And I guess I could crop it within here. I could put this one, I can't move that one onto the top, can I? Let's see, there we go. Okay, we'll swap them out. That's cool. All right, so let's try to print that. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I like it. It's kind of simple. It's not like all that complicated. Let me see if I can find some Sprocket Studio stickers. That's for the zinc printer. Yeah, it gets confusing because some of these are for the other Sprocket printers and not this one. It doesn't look like I have to order it direct from them, it looks like. I'm just looking for the all right, so here's the Sprocket Studio Pro Plus Wi-Fi printer. What do you say? It takes about a minute to print out the pictures? Yeah, it's probably about right. It's got like a little cooling fan that runs while it's printing too. Yeah, so mine like does that, and then it gives you the photo. But here again, like look how close this is to the. And you know, it's I would say it's a little less saturation on the photo of us outside. Actually, I think I look better on the screen. That's why I don't print my photos out. Now, the only thing I notice here, actually, you know what? It's visible. No, you know what? It's a detail in the photo. I was just noticing there was like a little bit of a darker area here, but that was actually from the reflection from the photograph when I shot the screen. Yeah, so my only gripe with this, beyond It's just that you've got these perforated edges here. And it comes off cleanly, but you get, maybe hard to see on the Amazon stream, but there's a bit of an edge, like a perforated remainder there. Yeah, but it is edge to edge, but it just doesn't look as smooth as the edges would be on a thing you go to the photo lab to print. But the quality of these, I would say, is on par, with what you would get at a photo lab, which is probably using very similar printing technology. But it's very good. Yeah, so I think there's probably cheaper ones at a lab, but you got to send them out, right? So I know, so they used to at my Walgreens, they used to print them right there, but now I think they send them out. So muchas gracias. That's about the extent of my Spanish. But hopefully this has been helpful to see how this thing works. Yeah, there's not much to it. It's actually pretty simple. Let's see if there's anything else in here that we can do with it. I mean, you want to print a picture, you print a picture. That's how it works. I could take a picture. All right, so let me take a picture. We'll do like this. I'm going to do a selfie. Ready? We're going to do a selfie, and we're going to print it out like Polaroid style. All right, so I got a picture. Not very much in focus. Let me take another one here. I'm moving around too much. Hang on. All right, we'll go with that. All right, we got a picture. And we can just print it out. So you can go from selfie to photo. Yeah, I'm impressed with the quality. Yeah, the speed's not bad on it. Yeah, you're not going to put it in your back pocket. But they do make one, that little zinc printer that does, right? That one will fit in your back pocket. This one's a little bit larger than your back pocket. And Frank Palmer's wanting to know, is this the Plus version? Yes, this is the Studio Plus. So I'll have to ask, I don't know if this has a better printing mechanism. I looked at the original Studio years ago, and I was impressed with the print quality then. But I'm finding that I am more impressed with this one than before. And the other thing you'll have to consider with this is that your phone's aspect ratio may not align directly with 4:6, so it's probably going to do a little cropping, depending on what aspect ratio the photo was shot in. But I'm impressed with this. This looks a lot better than what you'd get out of a kind of a non-photo inkjet printer. I would imagine the cost per print, it's probably close. Because with this one, the consumable includes the ribbon, like on the consumable pack. So this is the consumable pack. So you get 6 packets of paper, and then you've got 2 ribbons in here. And I'm assuming it tells you when it's time to swap it out. And the ribbon's finite. So here's what I will say. There's definitely a little bit of softness to the image. I don't know if it's smoothing out the skin or not. Because it's funny, I'm seeing a lot more detail in this picture. But even then, it is a little on the softer side. I'm just looking through some of these. Yeah. When you really start looking at it, I wish I could like zoom in further. My camera can only go in so far. but it is a little softer on the details. And that was something I think I noticed on the first printer too. But if you're hanging these up or putting them in a frame or something, it looks fine. All right, let's see what else we got here. Let's go to Edit. So you can adjust some of the stuff here. So it looks like it does its own. Oh, that was off. So this is on, that's off. You can put, you can write stuff on it. And you got like little stickers you can put on here too. Look at that. To love thyself, right? This one's like getting cut off. I don't know if I can make that smaller. Oops. They have like filters. So they have all the Instagram-y kind of things you can do to it there. Got like a little Santa thing. That's cool. Candy canes. Valentine's Day. General festivities. I guess you could probably get some more that you could put in there. I don't know. Feels a lot simpler than I remembered the other one doing. All right, let me see what else we can do with this here. Yeah, Karen says, yes, it looks like they have them. I wonder if it's in the app. So Dustin says, is this the same process? They used to manufacture photos at the... Well, they would do... they had like a machine you could walk up to and get them printed right then and there. And those machines are all die subs, so like it's the same basic premise. But I would say this is the best photo we've seen out of it so far. But it looks like if you go into the app here, I'm just going around, looking around a couple different things. If we go back to the Sprocket app, it's really basic. Like there's not much to it here. Now this is the same app. This is the same app that would work with all of the other Sprocket printers. So whatever things you do on one would go to the other one. I don't think I have more than one printer here. Let me see what the app settings are. Yes, I only have this printer connected, but you could use this also with their Zinc printers. So it's in that line. And then you can buy paper. And so that's the paper thing that we were looking at. So they do sell those Zinc. Oh, what's interesting is, so get this one. They're selling the pre-cut stickers, they say, are for Zinc. But they're offering it for this printer. That can't be right. I'm going to ask them about that. So I could not find those stickers. They didn't. And usually what they do is they include everything in the box for me to try, but they didn't have that. They just have the regular paper. But yeah, there's not much to this. It's just kind of like pick your picture and print it out, which, you know what, is not a bad way to go. Let's do one more. Let me find a fun one here. Oh, I should do one from my one of my NASA trips. Let's see what I got for that. I'm just going through. Let me see what happens when you print. Also, there's also a video option. And what happens? All right, so now I just did a still frame from a video. So I don't know how that works. If I hit edit, what do I get there? Yeah, just pick like the one frame. So here's a video of my dog. Yeah, it just prints that. Now, on the old Sprockets, what they had this augmented reality thing where you could go in and oh, here's a good one. Let's try this one. All right, so this is a good detail one. So this is like my this is a Sega Genesis Christmas ornament, but I like it because it's got a lot of black levels on there. So let's do it. Let's go ahead and print that. So go print. Yeah, I'm impressed with this one. You know, the cost per print is about 44 cents per print. And there's no funny business with the ink cartridges, and I'll show you why. Let me zoom out the camera here a little bit. So, and you'll see this as it's printing. So it spits it out. That's the paper coming out. And the ribbon has, as you'll see here, this is the yellow. And somebody told me there's cyan, yellow, and magenta, but no black. It's RGB. So there's the yellow. And so that was like a whole layer of the ribbon. And now that is consumed, and now it goes to the next color, which is the next color on the ribbon. And as this is going, I'll show you. So you can see here, this is like the magenta, right? So each of these layers has a different layer that it's putting down. And you need a lot of precision because everything has to align properly for this to work. So I would imagine you don't want to have this on an uneven surface. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with this one. All right, have a good meal. It's almost snack time for me, I think. We'll see. This is not bad. We got up and running with this in less than an hour. So that was, like, we were printing it very quickly. Yeah, I think the consensus here is the results are pretty good. For sure. All right, so here it goes. Yeah, so here's what I'll say, and I'll zoom back in. And I think this is kind of a good indicator here. The photo looks very close color-wise to, let me get the lower third off here. The photo looks very close color-wise to what's on the phone. And I'm impressed for not having its own layer of black, how deep the black is here. It's got a very nice contrast ratio. What I am noticing is that it doesn't have, you know, when you're looking at it on your desk or something, it looks fine. But I think if you were to look a little deeper, you'll notice that it doesn't have as much detail as your original photo had. So there's a little lost on the detail. And what I also want to look at here too is the cropping. So depending on how your photos are taken, these look great, don't they? I mean, the color is excellent. This one I think came out the best. That's my friend's dog. That was a portrait mode photo that I took on the Pixel Fold, which you'll see my review of this weekend. Now if I go in here, they have some framing options too, but I'm curious if there's a way you can adjust the cropping. Let's go back to edit. I guess not. Yeah, it's very basic editing. Like, there's not much you can really edit on here. There's like a little magic wand thing. I don't even know what that does. So you can adjust some of the very basic things here, but not a lot. Which, you know what, I think is probably fine. But what I'm curious about is how it handles cropping, because most of the time your smartphone is not shooting a photo that aligns with a 4:6. So, case in point, as you can see here, we're missing a little bit. So that edge of the controller there is not visible, whereas it is on the screen. But that's about it. But it looks pretty good. I'm pretty impressed with that. Yeah, so it's a little there is a little bit of softness. Even though this one looks super sharp, when you look a lot closer, there's a bit of softness to the print that you won't see on the screen. But that's the point, like with these, is that if you've got it, sitting on your desk or something, or hanging up on the wall, unless you really zero in on it, you're not going to see the detail loss. I notice the detail loss the most on this photo. And I'm not sure if it applies some skin smoothing or it's just the nature of how it works. Yeah, and I think this is definitely, they must, if you think about it, like it is a bit warmer, which is fine. I like a little warmer skin tone also. I have a gold, let me see if I have any golden hour photos in here that I could try real quick. Just looking through here. Ooh, that's a nice one. Gosh, I'm looking at pictures of my kids from like January, and they look bigger now. I don't know how that's possible. It's crazy. They're 7 and 10, so like they're just growing like crazy. Here's one. This will be a fun one. Check this one out. So we have a steam train in town, and every year for Christmas they've got this awesome North Pole Express, they call it. They can't call it the Polar Express. That's copyrighted. Let's print that one out. They also have a tiling option here. Oh, tiles are not compatible with this printer. So this looks like I like simple. So very simple. You print out your picture. Here's your picture, print it. Yeah, I think that's it. This is exactly my point, Lon Dog. Exactly. You want to print out a picture, and you want it to look close to what it looks like? There you go. So I think it does look great. And it doesn't take all that long to print it out either. Now, one other thing to note is that you got to leave the app open while it prints. So it does 3 layers, and the 4th one is kind of like a clear coat sealant. Yeah, I think this is something. Oh, she's going to love it. Yeah, the other one that you might want to look at, they have a smaller one just called the regular Sprocket, and it prints out on little stickers. It's really neat. Yeah, that one looks great. Very close to the original. And this one's almost like this is not a black and white photo, but it looked that way that night. Yeah, we went and did the Christmas train, and it happened to snow that night with a very wet snow. It was like so like picturesque. I felt like I was in a Hallmark movie. Now the question is, if you were in a Hallmark movie, would you be the good guy or the guy that's going to like ruin the town? No, actually no. The guy's going to ruin the town, but then he falls in love and doesn't ruin the town. Is that how it goes? I met a guy that does. So they make a lot of Hallmark movies here in Connecticut. I met one of the guys that does them. It's a good business. My wife loves them. But I say to her, like, the same story every time. And you want to know what a Lifetime movie is? It's the Hallmark movie in reverse. It's the same story, just reverse it. The nice guy destroys the town. But it looks great. I mean, what I like about it, here's the thing, is like, so often you print out one of these inkjet printer photos, and it's like, well, it's close, but this one is like almost dead on. It does have a bit of a warmer hue. And that's very evident in this photo because you can see this is a more gray background. Here it's a little bit warmer. And I almost wonder if, I guess the paper is pretty white. You know what? The paper is a little on the warmer side. That might be part of it. So the paper itself, although this did go through, so I don't know if it's, let's take a look at the paper. The paper, remember, it's a substrate, so and it's actually very similar to how a photo paper would work because the white areas are actually the paper's hue. So that could be affecting the color temperature. I'm not complaining about it. It is just a little bit warmer than what it looks like 55 minutes. There we go. Okay, so back to what I was saying. The paper is a little warmer than my phone screen is, as you can see. And so I remember back in the day when I was doing actual real photo printing in high school, you would pick paper that had different, because the white of the paper made a difference, like the temperature of the paper. So that's why it looks a little warmer. But look how close that looks. Again, a little soft on details when you really look in close, but I think what you're seeing on screen is very close to what you would get there. Thank you for the follow, Aiden. Yeah, we pop on all the time, Aiden, so definitely tune in. And we got a lot of hearts on this one, 221 hearts. Well, it's always good when you can show it in action, right? Like, this is how it works. And that's why I like doing these live streams, because I used to, back in the old days, I would do all this work offline, and then I would sit down and record the video, and you'd see it. But how fun is it to do these things live where we can actually chat with each other? I wonder how it'll do with an image. Let's see. So I had that AI thing. It's probably a bad idea. But I had that AI like make a bunch of portraits of me. So here's an example of what it'll do with a photo that doesn't quite fit. So that would be one that you'd have to cut. So it does its best to kind of crop it in there. So those won't go the full. Aren't those cool? I forgot which one this was, but it asked you what your interests were, and then it would make like a whole bunch of. This was my favorite one. It made me into this muscle guy. Some weird big creature down there. It was a lot of fun. And if you're wondering why I have so many pictures of utility poles, I'm on a rampage against my local utility because they've been letting all the utility poles around here like just fall apart. So I'm like that guy shaking his fist at the thing. All right, here's my NASA pictures. Let's see if we can find. This one's a little bit lighter. Let's see. All right, why don't we do? Here's my friend Tony and me. This is the NASA press office here. Here, let's do this one. This one's like really. This is not a very sharp photo, but it's got a lot of black in it. Let's see how it does with this. So I went to see the Artemis launch. YouTube doesn't put this in front of you because it doesn't think you're interested. But that was the view that I had of it. That was from the parking lot. That thing is so big, it's 3 miles away. It looks like it's right on, like that's what it looked like to my eyes. Isn't that crazy? All right, so let's go ahead and print that out. And let's see what that one looks like. So this is like almost an entirely black photo. I think it's going to do fine. You look how good the contrast ratio is on the if that's the right word. It's spectacular. Yeah, this is one that I think I could recommend because it's not complicated. You take the photo that's in your printer, in your phone, you print it out, and it looks pretty close to what it looks like in your phone. And for that reason, I'm digging it so far. This is called the Sprocket Studio Plus. So in the video description on YouTube, I have a link. It'll take you right in. You can find the exact same model we're looking at. It's $149 for the printer, and then another $46 for a pack of paper. So 108 sheets in the recharge thing here, and this gets you. So this comes out to about 44 cents a print. Sprocket Studio Plus. That's correct. Did I not call it that on the? Let's see. Yeah, Sprocket Studio Plus is what this one's called. And so if you go over to the Amazon link, it'll take you to. It'll take you right to Amazon where there's a link on screen. But I like this one. This is a good. Now this one's a little blurrier just because it's the nature of the photo. It's garbage in, garbage out. But what I think this is good for is kind of demonstrating the black level. And it looks very black. Like it's not, it's got a little bit of a hue to it, but it's not significant. And I think that might be the influence of the paper in the background. But that looks pretty good. Then we can tear off the Now this is where the edges are more evident when you have like a fully black thing here. Now the other factor with this is that because this ribbon is kind of fixed, you're guaranteed each cartridge is going to get you the same amount of prints because of the nature of how it works. Because it as you saw, it kind of put down different layers of color. So there's a section of the ribbon that is exactly 4 by 6 in exactly that color. So there's only so many runs you can do with it before it runs out. But yeah, it's pretty good. I think it looks good. All right. Yeah, this will be good. I think if you got like I'm gonna let my wife play with this when she gets home. I think she's gonna love it because she prints. She's always printing photos, and what we used to do. So we had they sadly both passed away, but we had my stepmother's mother lived to 102, I think 101. And so what we would do every couple of weeks, and my wife's grandmother lived to a good ripe old age too. So what we would do, we would see them often, but during the pandemic especially, we would take photos, print them out, and mail them to them so she'd have new photos to look at. And I think people like getting physical pictures more than having like a digital photo frame that updates, right? So yeah, so I have incorrectly labeled this. This is the Studio Plus. I will change the title of the thing there. Sorry about the confusion there. There is no Studio Pro, just the Plus. But I'm impressed with this one. This is a decent output on this. Oops. But there's not much more to look at. It's pretty cut and dry. But yes, this is definitely Studio Plus. And the link will take you right in. Budley's like, I'm sold. Yeah, this is good. This is going to be a popular holiday item. And I think also the cost per print. Who prints photos these days? If you wanted to go, where do you go to print photos? Is it Snapfish? Walmart does them too. So all these different photo print things. What do they cost? What do they charge you for 4 by 6? Let's take a look. Yeah, so I guess it's cheaper if you do send them out, but you don't get them immediately. So this is 44 cents. If you were to go through a photo processor, the market rate right now looks to be about 12 cents. But you got to wait. Yeah. So it does cost more, but the quality is going to be very close to what you're going to get from a photo processor. Because more often than not, especially with digital prints, they're using a dye sub process like this. So yeah, it's good. All right, anybody else got questions? This is all it does. Prints photos. Like I don't see anything else that it can do. I guess you can connect your Instagram and your Facebook and your Google to it. What else can it do? There's no print queue. Actually, I like it. From a reviewer standpoint, photo, print, done. Budley just bought 2 of them. Yeah, this is like, you want to make somebody happy, get them one of these printers because it's simple to use. The quality's great. There's nothing to tweak on it. You got a nice photo in your phone, you print it out. That is it. And look at the quality. It looks great. All right. I may have enough to get my video going with this afternoon. All right. Well, everybody, if there are no further questions, does it work well in hot environments from MCP? That is a good question. I do not know. I do know there's a cooling fan that kicks on with this. So maybe we can check the specifications. HP Studio, Sprocket Studio Plus. And I don't know what the preferred operating temperature is. I'm just looking on, and I'm also curious how this one differs from the last one. My guess is that it just might be an improved print mechanism. I'll double check on that. But I don't think there's any indication about hot environments. I would probably imagine that its cooling fan will help. But that's not answering your question. I don't know. But yeah, I'm just pleased with it. So I'll show you, before I head out of here, I'll show you what I just printed out of this. So we printed, so we did this one, did that one. These all came out of my phone. Did this one. This one came out really nice. And there's a little collage one that I did. And then here's a selfie that I took with the camera right then and there. So it's good. Like I said, the only thing that I noticed with it is that it's a little soft on the details, which you're not going to notice when you got it in a frame, but when you inspect it up close, you'll see a little softness in the details. But beyond that, I'm pretty impressed with it, especially the black levels. I think that's really nice. But yeah, I could say MCP, when it kicks on, there's a cooling fan that's running because there's definitely it's definitely applying heat to the ribbon to apply it to the paper. So I would imagine that heat plays some role here. And I would also imagine they probably have some controls to prevent overheating. And the paper feels nice too. And this is dye sub specific paper. So if you look on the back, you got to make sure when you're looking for paper for this that you get the one for this printer, because it's not going to be the same paper as what you get for the other one, or even an inkjet. And so they sell this pack here. You get the other look here. They sell this pack, and inside the pack you get some paper, and you get 2 ribbon cartridges, and it's 108 in a thing. So it translates out to about 44 cents a picture. So more than what you'd spend at a photo lab, but you can do it at home. And what's your time worth? You know what, for me, I hate leaving the house because you got all this online ordering. Amazon spoils you, right? It's like, I need deodorant. Just bang it into the phone, it shows up, right? We actually pay for Prime, right? You pay for Prime to get the shipping allowance. So you can just order whatever you want when you want it, and it just shows up. And so for me, so if I lived in New York City, it'd be one thing. I could walk out the door, go down the block, and get something. Here, if I want to go to the nearest grocery store, it's about 20 minutes round trip, 25 minutes round trip. To get a coffee, it is 10 minutes round trip, not counting the time it takes for them to pour the coffee into the thing. So I brew from home most of the time. This, by the way, is my local library. And the reason why it's an elephant is that where I live, they used to do piano ivories. They would actually do ivory processing from elephants back when it was not, people didn't understand how bad that practice was. But I live in a former center hub of the ivory trade in the United States. So we have a lot of history here in our little town in Connecticut. On the other side of town, we were invaded. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we're one of the few towns to have ever been invaded as the United States by a foreign entity. So the British invaded my town of Essex. They were looking for a shipyard that was in town. And there was a trader who gave away the location of the shipyard to spare the town. We have a parade for that every year. It's kind of neat. And we also have a very historic steam train, which is where that picture was taken from. So yeah, I'm impressed. It's a good printer. All right. Well, If you are watching on Amazon or on YouTube, you got a couple more chances for questions here. Yeah, so all of the services do offer a means of printing photos. In fact, I think Amazon can even do photo printing. Let me see. Let's see. Maybe they don't. I'm not sure. Maybe they don't. They used to. But yeah, most of the services offer some means of printing photos. You can print photo books. But I think there's something about the velocity of being able to just print it at where you're sitting. It only does 4x6s. There's no other sizes. So, obviously a photo printer will have more flexibility. But it's interesting. Yeah, 60-watt power supply. I don't think it's consuming all of that much, but it's close to that. So yeah, so it's about 44 cents a print. I see some questions about the cost. But there's no funny business going on with the ink. So it's not like, it's not consumed. This is where I was meaning to say. I wasn't able to articulate it very well. On an inkjet printer, it's using ink just to prime its tubes and its pumps and everything. This is a very different process, so you're not going to consume ink when it's sitting idle or before it starts up. It's a ribbon-based process. It just prints it out, and every cartridge delivers the exact number of prints every time. So Mr. T-Bone, I got some printing experts in here today. A couple of them. I'm glad. This is what I love about my channel. I have so many people that I can just rely on to correct me when I'm not correct about something. For single use, you don't need K black. The whole point of having a separate black is to not waste CMY just to print black. That makes sense. And in a single use case like this, you're right. You don't really need to worry about that because you're not using ink here. Yeah, mine too. I think that's been, and what's funny is my wife goes grocery shopping all the time. Like, why bother? Like, just do the thing where they can deliver. So we don't have a Whole Foods nearby. So like Amazon, I guess you get some benefit from grocery deliveries. We don't have anything close by. I think we're getting one soon, but we have 2 grocery stores. One of them has their own delivery system, and the only thing she just likes to have control over the produce. So she doesn't feel like she has a lot of choice, obviously, because they're choosing for you. But I like the produce. I don't care. I'd rather save the time. You know what else I got? So during the pandemic, my kid's friend's mother, she used to work at, she's a hairstylist, licensed hairstylist, and she started doing haircuts at home. Initially, she would go to people's houses and cut their hair outside. So I use her now. So I send her a text like, hey, my hair's long again. She comes by, cuts my hair. I don't have to leave the house. It's great. It's really good. So it was bad. Yeah, so I think what happened the first time was that the one that they sent me from the PR company, I think they had checked the printer to make sure all the pieces were there, and they must have forgotten to put the thing on it. And so the process in how these get to me is that it goes from HP to the PR firm to me. Sometimes it goes direct from HP depending on the department, but the printers always come from the PR company. So I think what happened was that they must have checked it out at HP and then forgot to put that in the box. So the way this works, when you're done with it, you pull this out and you can put this back on the top. And you turn it off. But this thing has to be installed for it to work. And you've got this cute little printer, so it kind of tucks out of the way. And I think the issue they had, or they were hearing from people on the old one, was that it was much larger because the paper tray was kind of integrated into the old one. So this one, what you do when you get it out is you take the tray out, you slide this out, you put it down like that, you open the door, and you insert this in there, and then you can print. So it only is in this configuration when you are printing. And then when you're done, you pull it back out, close the lid, put it on the top, close that up, and you've got like a nice, oops, you got a nice little compact printer when I'm not breaking everything. So it's cool. I like the way it looks. It looks just like they're big printers, but it's little. It's like a little tiny, here's what it looks like compared to me. It's like a little tiny printer. Pretty neat. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's magnetized. I think it just kind of slots into the, so there's a little bit of a track on here, and it just kind of goes in like that. And you can set it aside. You can put it up in a cabinet. And what's nice is that this can sit because you're not pushing ink through. So in some ways, this is kind of like a laser printer in that it doesn't have any cleaning to go through. There's no ink that has to get sucked in. So it's decent. And I like it. It's simple. Like there's nothing to complicate things. You just take your phone and print the pictures out. That's it. Super simple. Oh, it's cool. I didn't realize you had cannons up in Stonington. Yeah, so they were coming up the whole, because they're both kind of on the shore here, so they were coming right up the way there. Yes, watch Sprockets later, and then yeah, check it out. I think it's a good, yeah, if you got people who like to print photos, scrapbookers in particular. Again, this is the only size you get, but beyond that, I think it prints out pretty nice. Yeah, it's all in one thing. Yeah, so and just in case you're wondering what's in the pack here, so what you get inside this is their refill pack. And so the paper and the cartridges are unique to this printer. You can't use other paper. It's special paper. It's always special paper. So you get a pack of these prints, and then you get the cartridge. And so each cartridge can print 3 packs of paper. And you get 108 total, so about 44 cents a print at the moment. And that's it. And like I said, it can sit. You know, like if your wife only, like my wife only prints photos around Christmas time maybe, it's fine. She takes it out a year later, it's going to print. It's not going to get all clogged up like the inkjet printers I have around here. Yeah, so that is one issue. The substitutions are a killer. I will agree with you on that. And actually, there was one time, oh, this was awful. So I had she had ordered the Peapod was the one we were using, because that's what we have around here. So she had set it to contactless delivery. And I was down here working. The guy drops the stuff off, following the directions, and all the food was sitting out, and like it was hot like it is today. We lost the whole order. That was my fault. So, yeah. So this is not inkjet. This is called dye sublimation. So it's using a ribbon dye thing. So that's how it works. The firmware does not inspect the paper, I don't believe, but it's just the nature of it. So I would guess if you found some compatible dye sublimation printer paper, it would work. But there's some unique attributes of the paper in that it's a little longer than 4x6 to accommodate the perforation. So you'd have to find a piece of paper that kind of fits the same. I suppose somebody could manufacture it. But you're not going to find, I don't think you're going to find replacement cartridges for this by any stretch. All right. Well, I think I've got enough to record I may be able to get away with recording the review today if I can get some other things done first. So I think we're in good shape there. All right. Well, I'm going to go get a few things done around the house here. I got to get some videos uploaded. I've got to get my homeowner's insurance. I got to deal with the homeowners. I got all this stuff that I've been like, Friday here, we got to get it done. So, but yeah, we're going to, I think, depart now. But hopefully this gave you a good idea as to what this printer's about. I like it. It's cute. Prints. Does everything perfectly. Very simple. And simple, I think, is good. So, yeah. Stay tuned. If you're not following me yet on Amazon, hit the follow button, because I do these all the time. I get all this stuff in from you name it. If it's a piece of gadgetry, I get it in and I review it. And a lot of times I do a live stream when I open the box up to test stuff. Yeah, those AIs are not perfect yet, are they? So it'll be a little while before they wipe us out. All right, that is going to do it for this one. And let me know what you think in the comment section. All right, I'm going to head out, but I thank you all for tuning in, and we will be back again with another video and a live stream and everything else in the very near future. So have a good one, and I will catch you all later. Bye-bye.